she was nearly completely skeletonized, very close to a dilapidated apartment complex. Her dad said, and I quote,
it's something that it'll play in my mind over and over.
They call me king for a reason, cause I'm number one. King say, gotta go and get a nigga. King say, hardest in my city, nigga. King say, new wave, give me my crop, I'm undefeated.
YouTube, what it do? It's your boy King Zay back in the stew, man. Hey, it's about to get real crazy today, man. Y'all see the title, man. The girl who is killed for ejecting a man. Now, fellas, it is never that serious, bro. If shorty don't want you, it is 7 billion, 3 billion, 3.5. How, bro? It's plenty fish in the sea. It's never that serious, bro. Let's get to this asshole who killed this girl.
A black woman with brown hair and green eyes, reportedly standing at 5 feet tall. Man. That's what Maya Marzano's missing person flyer stated after she disappeared on September 24th. Man,
she looked like she just graduated too. Like she a beautiful woman coming up, about to live her life, and you just had. Why did it have to be Florida, bro? Why did I have to see that, bro? Florida.
Stated after she disappeared on September 24th, 2021 at the Arden Villa apartment complex in Orlando, Florida. That's the place where she worked, but also where she lived. A very practical location.
That's kind of lit. You know what I'm saying? You wake up, you know what I'm saying? You already at your job. You have no excuse to be late. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of lit.
The University of Central Florida. A week after her disappearance,
see, nigga like me, you know what I'm saying? Not people be hiding in the toilets during they work and everything, but nigga, I'm hiding in the apartment. I'm clocking in. I'm going back to my crib to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Maya's family experienced their worst nightmare ever. After 8 days of searching, this young woman was found, and based on reports, she was nearly completely skeletonized, very close to a dilapidated apartment complex. Her dad said, and I quote,
it's something that it'll play in my mind over and over.
You telling me the dad saw
it every day. So many memories.
And the possible suspect to blame seems to be a handyman who happened to be Maya's co-worker. Unfortunately, though, investigators couldn't dig deep into the intentions of this man, and authorities confirmed that the handyman, Armando Caballero, committed suicide on September 27th, just a few days after Maya went missing. Armando was found lifeless in Seminole County, but his belongings had Maya's blood and hair in them.
Oh my goodness. So it's like, all right. Armando? I swear to you, bro. Come on, cuz.
Caballero kidnapped and killed the 19-year-old last September.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna off yourself
during the investigation.
Right after
but you all may be wondering, why did it take a week to find this culprit? Were the deputies taking this case seriously? And how did Maya's family realize that something was off? Well, it all started when she missed a flight home to Fort Lauderdale and no one could get a hold of her. And now that the investigation has been released to the public, some important dates and key findings have brought more clarity to this mysterious case. As on September 24th, 2021, this is the day when Maya was planning to fly to Fort Lauderdale, Florida to meet with her family. But when she didn't show up, her mom immediately called the Orange County Sheriff's Office to do a wellness check.
I'm
calling to find out if I can have a wellness check.
And weeks later, the investigation report claimed that a few things were out of order. First of all, it was determined that Caballero entered Maya's apartment at 4:34 p.m., a practice that was not only against the complex's policies, but it was also very illegal. He got there just in time to wait for her to finish her shift at 5 p.m. on that day. The records...
This nigga really... Bro, you're weird, my nigga. What? So you got in her apartment and waited for her to come back home.
Show that Maya's key fob finally activated her door at 5:06 p.m. And that's when, according to reports, Armando attacked her and a struggle ensued. Her broken jewelry on the floor and the bloodstains in different parts of the bedroom made it obvious as to what may have happened to her. Then at around 7:38 p.m. on that day, Caballero left the Arden Villas area, and through phone records and GPS data, it was determined that he arrived at the Timberscon Apartments, a place where he would abandon Maya's body, not before duct taping her legs, hands, and neck. After getting Maya's mom's phone call, the sheriff's office organized the wellness check, and they arrived at the scene at 10:02 p.m. But at that point, all they knew that something wasn't quite right, but they still didn't know where she was. And on the very next day, on September 25th, 2021, way before sunrise at 3:52 a.m. in the morning, Maya's dad, Marlon Marzano, called the sheriff's office to come back to Maya's apartment. He and some family members decided that they would drive all the way up from Fort Lauderdale after becoming aware that something was off.
Yeah,
And just a few hours later,
That's your
at
kid.
1:36 a.m., Maya had officially been entered as a missing person by the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And when Maya's dad finally got to her apartment complex and made his way to her door and stepped his foot inside, he noticed very concerning things that shook him to his core, like a box cutter that he found laying on the ground in her room. Surprisingly though, just a few minutes after his arrival, Caballero was seen in his car outside Maya's apartment. He went to talk to the deputies because he had heard that his co-worker Maya had gone missing, which is something Maya's aunt found to be interesting because at that point, no one had told him or anyone else that Maya was considered missing.
That's where you fuck up at, boy. On your ass. Bro, niggas be self-snitching on themselves, bro. You doing this and then niggas want to be... Nah, it's the same thing. Hey, bro. Like saying, you know how folks used to steal phones back in the day, like in the locker room, right? And all of a sudden it be the same person. Like, so the most worried person about the person be more worried about finding your phone than you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's just sus, bro.
Are you looking for Mia? I said, who are you? She said, I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me.
What?
What Caballero was probably not expecting, though, was the fact that Maya's family noticed him holding a blanket that looked like one that belonged to Maya. The
He wanted to get caught at this point.
deputy in charge wasn't sure if this blanket had anything to do with this
no
case,
way.
but he decided to ask Caballero about it.
Because me and Tati were conversating about it, so I finally, it came
Okay,
up.
but
Should I go
Tati
and
is
see if I
someone-
see anything?
But without any major revelations, the deputy just cleared the scene and told Maya's family to call the sheriff's office if anything changed. However, the family felt that something was very off, so they asked to check Caballero's apartment. And surprisingly, Caballero cooperated and gave them permission to look through his residence while the police were standing by. But 6 hours after the search, Caballero left his apartment, and that was the last time he was seen. And by the end of the day, Caballero had become a suspect. Detectives were securing his apartment to get an official warrant, and his last text message was sent at around 9:35 p.m. from his own cell. On the next day, though, on September 26th, 2021, in the early hours of the morning, detectives had already had a warrant to properly search Caballero's apartment. And hours later, they were able to interview two people, including one of Maya's co-workers. She said that Caballero had a romantic interest in Maya, but she didn't feel the same way about him. Moreover, he even tried to send her $600 through Cash App. And even though she refused and tried to refund multiple times, he kept sending the money back.
Simp ass nigga. Come on, man. Dog, I hate, bro. If you don't, what's it called? Like my dog Steph say, if you don't kill the beta will find a way to kill you, bro. He's killed his whole career over a female that didn't want him, bro. Dog.
And on September 27th, the very next day, things took a darker turn when it was revealed that Caballero had committed suicide.
It appears he has killed himself.
They located his body in Seminole County. Then, just 5 days later, on October 2nd, the day that everyone was fearing finally came, the Orange County Sheriff's Office found Maya's body in a wooded area near the now infamous Timberscon Apartments.
That's when they discovered a body we believe to be
It's
that
crazy.
of
Like, how do
Mia
you just
Marcano.
randomly
About
find
an
it
hour
in the
ago,
woods?
detectives notified Mia's parents of our tragic news.
He also said that there was no indication that there was any sexual assault of any kind. But still, it was very obvious to Maya's associates that Caballero had an excessive interest in this young woman's life, and such unchecked behavior undoubtedly led to this crime.
Mia was found bound with black duct tape on her feet and hands, and her mouth was also covered with black duct duct tape.
Months later, though, on December 16th, 2021, Orlando's District 9 Medical Examiner's Office determined that Maya had died of homicide by undetermined means. And while the toxicology report couldn't find traces of any substances such as fentanyl and cocaine, the examiners were sure that Maya had experienced some type of assault. They said that her body was nearly skeletonized and in advanced putrefactive decomposition, and with very little residual soft tissue available to examine for injury. Her recovered bones showed no sign of trauma. Later in the investigation, though, the Orange County Sheriff's Office concluded that Caballero acted alone in the kidnapping and murder of Maya Marzano. And since Caballero died by suicide, the case had to be closed. But that was just the beginning of a new wave of controversies and loud cries for justice. As soon as Maya's case gained national attention, people started to wonder whether they were safe at home or not. After all, an unsuspecting maintenance guy had managed...
the maintenance man did it. This ain't no like it's an inside job, bro. And the maintenance man could just come to your house whenever, bro. Like, nigga, I wouldn't feel safe there either.
To enter a young woman's property without her permission.
Residents have filed complaints in the past about the maintenance workers' invasion of privacy.
This led family and friends of Maya to start collecting signatures to enact property safety measures for tenants. And it was all a petition that started out as a local demand to Maya's late residents, but quickly became a call to pass a wider law that requires strict background checks of all apartment complex employees. And naturally, all eyes started to scrutinize the authorities involved in this case. While the perpetrator of Maya's murder was dead, people started to feel like the authorities involved had not done their job right. In fact, just days after Maya's death, the family attorney was already convinced that the people at the sheriff's office had failed at not detaining Caballero when he showed up in front of Maya's apartment. And surely enough, less than a year later, 2 deputies who worked in the investigation were found to have violated the department's policies by not following proper procedure when investigating the case. Deputy Samir Paulino failed to report all the anomalies he saw when he did that first wellness check on the night Maya's mom called. If he had reported important details, such as the blood on Maya's pillows and the broken jewelry, then Maya would have been entered as a missing endangered person.
That's what I said. Like, how does the police not see this? But when the dad and all the family come up to the house, they seem to just see everything that the detective just missed. Like, detective, bro, that's why I be like, bro, police, they don't police, like, it's their job to do this, but they don't really care. It's not their family, bro. They don't really care.
Instead of a voluntary missing person. Paulino and his supervisor, Corporal Kenneth Dale, received their respective unpaid suspensions, and the sheriff's office committed to make amends to prevent this mistake in the future. In the end, though, the family's attorney said that, and I quote, "The investigation reports only confirmed what Maya's father has said since she was discovered missing, that they were not taken seriously. If the pleas of the family were taken seriously, the outcome of this case would have been much different," he added. However, it's unclear whether Maya was killed in her apartment and then taken to the other location, or if she died after being kidnapped. But the one thing that's clear is that the family wanted to be taken more seriously during this case. And perhaps, if they had done so, then the resolution of this case would have brought a different and less painful outcome. Today, though, Maya's family is still grieving her loss. But they've transformed their pain into the Maya Marzano Foundation, which seeks to support, educate, and provide resources to family of missing persons while advocating for the protection of students and the most vulnerable population. Through this legacy, they hope to give to others what was not fully given to them, a supportive system that takes their worries seriously.
That's real, man. Rest up, Maya, man. Sheesh, man. Oh, that was a crazy story, but hey, man, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this vid, man. Y'all like vids like this, and y'all want to see more interesting vids like this, man, get this vid a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you sub up. We do daily reactions. It's your boy King Zay signing out, man. Peace.